Hey, Jody, Holland here with the Psyche of Success video blog. We're talking about hypnotic selling, and guess what? We're on chapter 5. One of my favorite chapters, of course I think all of them are my favorite chapter, is Socrates was right. Socrates once said, all knowledge exists within man. He didn't say, as long as we shove some info in their head, they'll know what we need them to know. He said all knowledge already exists. So what that means is that you use the right questioning models and the right techniques to pull the information from a person. He never said push, he always said pull. So really interesting here, when you start thinking about the origins of sales, we started as persuaders. When you look at the word persuade, persuade means to induce action in another person. It doesn't mean to force, but to induce, to magnetize or pull them in a specific direction. I heard a story one time about this great warrior, just a phenomenal warrior, nobody could beat him. But he asked one of the other masters, his original master, how do I become the greatest of the greatest? And he said the only way to do that is to go see the tea master. He said, well, where's the tea master? And he was on top of this giant mountain. It was going to take an entire month just for him to get there. So he starts on this journey, climbs the mountain, climbs and climbs and climbs, and survives for a whole month through grueling weather. Finally gets there, knocks on the door of the tea master, and the tea master opens up and says, what can I do to help you? He said, I am a great warrior, but I want to be the greatest warrior. And the tea master says, come in. And he says, have a seat. And the guy has a seat there, and he starts to pour tea. And the guy goes, here's what I know, and he starts talking about all the great things that he knows, and the tea master just keeps pouring. The tea spills over the cup and spills onto the person and burns his legs. And the guy jumps up and he's like, what are you doing? He says, until you come to me with an empty cup, there's nothing that I can offer. That's the principle of Socrates was right. You have to go into the situation with an empty cup, not believing that you know more than everyone else or believing that you're better than everyone else, but with an empty cup, waiting to learn from the person that you are interacting with. From the learning perspective, you also have to be willing to understand that you don't know what you don't know. Every time I read a book, I learn something new. I have had as an objective of mine since 1999, so roughly 18 years now, to read one new book every month for personal development. Not 50 Shades of Gray, but 50 Shades of Learning. So make sure that you step back from yourself and you go, what is it that I can learn this month that can help me grow and develop into a better person? The more you learn about your products, the more you learn about your services, the more you learn about people, the easier it will be for you to connect with them. The process that I teach in one of my other books, which is called Selling with Honor, is a fantastic process of getting out of your own way. It's a way that you connect with a person, look for what knowledge they have, bring it to the surface, and use their information to get them to buy from you. So if we make a decision to purchase something and it is wholly based on being forced into it, we will have buyer's remorse. If we make a decision to purchase something and it is wholly based on the fact that we wanted to purchase that, we will not have buyer's remorse. Think about the way that you want your clients or your customers to experience you. If you want them to have no remorse and to tell their friends, to tell their associates, to brag about you online because it was such a great experience, it has to be based on what they decided they wanted. Don't go in with the idea that I'm pitching this one product and they're gonna buy it. Instead, go in with, I want to uncover what it is that you want to buy, and I will find the product or service to fit that, even if it means that it's not your product or your service. I have had hundreds of experiences over the last 20 years where I've looked at a person and said, you know what I have to offer isn't what's right. Instead, I'm going to introduce you to somebody else that would be a perfect fit for you. When my objective is to fill the cup of the customer with what they want, instead of filling it with the only thing that I have, what I find is that they are wildly successful. My job is to solve their problems and facilitate their success by pulling out of them the information that they already had. Socrates was right. And don't you forget it. I'm Jody Holland with the Psyche of Success video blog. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter at Jody and Holland. Find me on Facebook and like the page, Jody Holland Training and Speaking. You will not regret it. I can't wait to fill your cup with more knowledge. We'll see you next week.